guys, let's talk below deck men. Alright. As you can see, that most of this drama that we saw this week is very much surrounding Tumi. So I guess we'll just talk the different dramas going on between Tumi and Natalya and Tumi and the chef now. They kind of where Kyle fits in there. So let's go through it. So this again, that's my thoughts here. I don't want to go into too much of a recap. Not. She needs to understand that she's no longer chief. She was professional. She's fulfilled her duties until Tumi has shown up. And, yeah. Her constantly running around and telling everybody, oh, she's a bitch, and she's horrible, and this and that. It's like, none of that is productive, honey. None of it is. Like, I don't understand her reasoning doing any of that. It's not necessary. It's childish. It's petty. And it doesn't make you look any better. It's just not necessary. And again, it's like you're basing something on something, basing your thoughts on a person based on something that, yes, maybe you have a fundamental difference, but I don't think Tumi is trying to be bitchy, trying to be mean by any means. She does say to her, listen, I'm not saying anything about you. I'm just saying about the boat itself, like prior to you being here. Could she have just not said anything? Sure. But she did. And Natalya needs to stop taking things so personally. That's part of the reason why she will probably never be sufficient in a chief stew role, because she takes things way too personal. It's not helpful for anybody. But as we see her doing, she's talking shit about Tumi to Luca. She's talking shit about Tumi to the chef. She's talking shit about Tumi to Kyle. She's talking shit about Tumi to Jessica, I think is her name. She's talking shit to anybody that she can get. And I'm great for Jessica to basically be like, I'm not getting involved. I don't want to be involved. This shit gives me anxiety. I don't want to be part of it. So I'm proud of her for choosing to stay completely out of it. I think that's the best thing to do in this instance. But so kind of going into everything, because we're not going to talk about Luca. We kind of just briefly talked about Jessica. But what I do want to say actually about one thing Jessica says that's clearly going to be next week is Jessica says she's mean, isn't she? Like, she's a mean girl, isn't she? Yes. And this is, they're talking about Natalya. Yes, she is. We saw it with last season with Kyle, with Tosh, and again, you didn't have to agree with everything Tosh was doing. I didn't agree with everything Tosh was doing. She was a horrible chief stew, not because of her necessarily abilities to be a chief stew, but because she was caught up on everything having to do with Dave. So, but she still was her chief stew. And you gotta be so fucking careful of how you talk and treat your chief stew. And the thing is, again, as we'll see in a little bit, with Captain Sandy, she has seen all of the shit. She's seen everything in the reunion. So what the fuck are you doing, Natalya? What the fuck are you doing? She knows what you're capable of doing. And I don't recall Sandy really appreciating her attitude. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway. So the trauma that happens with the chef about Tumi between Natalya, and that is because she says to the chef, "Well, I heard her talking shit about you. She was saying shit about you, saying she didn't like you. I don't recall Tumi ever once saying she didn't like him. She literally just said the wrong thing to do is to piss the chef off. So the last thing she's gonna do is actually piss the chef off. But I don't recall her ever once saying that she had an issue with him. I think there was some incidents with lunch or something, and he wasn't really adapting to things. And I think that's what the problem was. But, like, again, that's not her not liking him. This is her not liking the fact that he couldn't adapt to the changes because these people were hungry, like yesterday apparently, and they had to eat when they wanted to eat. Like, that's not her not liking him. This is not liking the fact that he couldn't step up to the plate. So that has put a bad taste in his mouth, and you kind of see that happening during dinner service with the confusion with the lobster and the pasta. And you kind of see him kind of being like, well, if deck is messed up, that's Luca's fault. Or no, if the boat, something wrong with the boat that goes to Captain Sandy. If there's something wrong with the food that comes to me, and if something's wrong with service, that's to me. So I'm going to blame her. I already see him having a problem with her based on something Natalya said when he should just be going to Tumi himself and saying, did you say these things? Because that's what I'm hearing. Because then if that's what's happening, you need to build a case to let someone go, you know what I mean? If you're seeing that someone is talking shit about their superior, because at the end of the day, Tumi is her superior, and she's talking shit about her, and that could be grounds for a termination. She's a dummy, honestly. And then there's the Kyle situation, like I said. It's kind of mixed in there. So we see Kyle telling Natalya what Tumi said to him in the text. Bad idea. Tumi should never have told him that. And I don't understand why Kyle would tell Natalya any of that, because I understand that they're friends and they have a sisterly brotherly relationship here, but they have had some fucking problems that I'm surprised that they're even remotely close to being friends. And at the end of the day, he has had a longer friendship with Natalya than with Tumi. He literally just met her 2 weeks before. Maybe his alliance is more to Natalya than it is to Tumi. So Tumi should never have said anything to Kyle. Never have. I don't know if she thinks, oh, I'm South African, you're South African, so we gotta, band together here. But that's not enough. That's not enough. And so that goes back to her. And of course, that just fuels Natalya even more, which is so fucked up. But that's what I expect from Kyle. I expect that shit from Kyle. You can't tell him shit without him telling other people. So yeah, that's not even surprising to me. But then there's a whole situation now with Kyle having to stay up until 3 a.m. because these fucking people want to go to sleep. And he's clearly tired, skipping shit, and says that can be done tomorrow, that can be done tomorrow. So Natalya wakes up 3 hours after Kyle goes to bed. I can't recall if he texts Natalya what time he was going to bed or if he texted Tumi what time he was going to bed. I'm not sure. But he texts somebody saying I'm going down at 3 a.m. So Natalia sees that things haven't been done for the night before. And she goes to me and she says, listen, Carl didn't do things that he should have done on the night before. Now it's being put on me. He should be focusing on service. I can't focus on service because I have to clean things up. And I do hear what she's saying. But at the same time, this man was going down at 3 o'clock in the morning. If he did any more, he would have gone to bed at 4, and he's or later, and he still has to get up at the time he needs to get up in order to get back onto his shift. So, you know, I understand that he needs to go to bed. So I get it. At the end of the day, though, Tumi says, I would rather he go to bed at 3 a.m. than later than that and get some sleep so he can get up for his shift. I knew he was going to go to bed. It's okay. It's fine. We'll clean this up. And Natalya just gets her back up and just wants to fight with her and isn't listening to her. And she's like, listen, I said, it's fine. It's okay. I told him he can go to bed. And the day that's my decision, I'm fine with it. And I guess she's getting animated and using her hands. And Natalya says, stop putting your hands in my face. Natalya should never once put her hands in your face. For someone to put their hands in your face, she needs to be like right up by you. And she's like nowhere near you. What are you talking about? Anywho's, they get into a heated argument at the bar. And I believe the guests are still on the boat. They haven't left. And they get into a heated argument at the bar. Sandy, of course, hears all of this and says, Tumi, Natalya, bridge. And that's pretty much where it ends. But we do see next week Sandy say, Natalya, you are not Chief Stu anymore. You're getting direct orders from her. You need to listen to what she says and respect what she says. But at the same time, to me, you're Chief Stu. You're in charge. So act like it. And if this doesn't resolve, I have no fucking problem firing you both. And trust me, she will. We've seen her do it. But at the same time, you know how Sandy is. She has to just one up people. Jason fired. God, how many people? 3? 3 people? 3 people? Yeah. Luke, Laura, Adam. Yeah. Pretty sure that's 3 people. So 3 people. Sandy will just try to at least get to 3, if anything, but maybe 4. So she might just be firing people just to fire people, you know what I mean? But honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not saying Natalya is a good at her job because she is, but the problem is that I'm having with her is you are getting direct orders from your superior, and you're not respecting. You don't like her, but you do have to respect her as such. She hasn't provided you a reason to not. And the fact that you're just paying into not liking her is an issue that I'm having. And I think for that, like, she should, this is her morning right now, but I feel like she should be let go because she came on this boat saying, I'm okay relinquishing control to me because this is her position, this is her job. The only reason she's not here is because of immigration issues that Kyle also experienced. So, you know, I'm okay with that. Clearly you're not. Because as soon as she gets on the boat here, before she even gets on the boat, you're saying, I can do this job better than anybody. So I feel like, I don't know if anything's going to change, and I feel like maybe she just needs to go. I don't know. But you can kind of see that even Jessica's like the fuck is happening and why is she doing any of this? Like, this is, you don't need to be smart to realize that what she's doing is not okay. But anyways, that is it for the below deck conversation, my thoughts on this episode. So yeah, again, we keep this always as normal, very informal. But again, liked what you are hearing with this episode, with other episodes, like, follow, subscribe to podcast which you don't miss a single episode. You can rate and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Helps with our growth. You can follow us on our socials or Facebook at Reality Tea Times 2, Instagram, Threads at Reality Tea Times 2 Podcast. You can email us again, realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. All of that information in the show notes as always. And all of the other information that are normally in our show notes will also be there, but I'm not going to go through all of it because this is informal. But that is it for now. Thanks so much. Bye.